Okay, obviously my computer died last video, so I just want to finish up writing your solutions. So we've shaded, we've graphed, we've done all of that. Now we need to interpret the graph to write the solution as an inequality, and I'm going to go as far as in and interval notation, because that's what we need to also know how to do. And interval notation. Anytime you're writing inequality or interval notation on these, graph it first. It makes it so much easier to graph it. Okay, so our answers are going to be, I always write in inequalities, I always write x first, because then I can follow my arrow. So if I put x first for each section, I need an x on this one, an x on this one. My arrow is going less than -4. It's away from each other, so away from each other, remembers or, so x is less than -4, or x is greater than 3. That is your solution. In interval notation, I'm going to just abbreviate that IN. Remember, it'd be -infinity to the left forever to -4. Open circles are parentheses, union 3 to infinity, all parentheses. On here, or this is an or question, this is an and because they go together. So when you write an and question inequality, x is in the middle, because we shaded in the middle, less than or equal to, always to the left, 2 and 8. That's how I want you to write it, inequality. Where that's coming from is this is saying x is greater than or equal to 2 and x is less than or equal to 8. Well, you have to write that as 1. So this one gets flipped and you put the 2 first. So as long as you write at least to greatest, the arrows will always point to the left. And then in interval notation, bracket, because it's a closed dot, 2 to an 8. Bracket. Okay. I did another one by quadratic formula. I didn't bore you with the video on it. So these are open. That's kind of hard to tell. So we're going to go -infinity, to -6. I meant to do this interval notation. Let me do that first. Union, because I jump over a few points in the middle, a million points in the middle. -7 to infinity. Interval, inequality, that is interval. We just wrote interval notation. Inequality, I always put x first, less than -6. These are in the wrong order. Nobody's going to correct me? Oh, I'm by myself. -7, or x is greater than -6. So that is how you write your answers. Again, compound inequality, this is saying x is in the middle. So I write x in the middle. As long as you write least to greatest, your arrows will always point left. And when you're doing notation intervals, you should always write at least to greatest. So that's how your answer should look like in inequality. And then in interval, I think interval is so much easier. -3 to -1. But you have to know both for the SAT, ACT. So that's why I keep showing you both. All right. Your assignment today on this is Delta Math. So I was just going to do one of them. It was created correctly. Algebra 2. So that's these first two. Level 1, A is equal to 1 every time. Let's see. And that is what you're solving. So I would factor all these, guys. Don't make your life hard. You can use quadratic formula if you just refuse to practice your factoring. It's a good day to practice factoring. What is that? 2 and 12? 12 and 2. Add to a negative. Want the bigger number to be negative. So x minus 12, x plus 2, it equals 0. So x minus 12 equals 0. X plus 2 equals 0. X equals 12. X equals -2. Inequality. We want inequality. So I still have to put it on a number line and figure out where it's going. -12 is smaller than 12. 0 is in between those. 0 is the easiest number to check. That's 0 minus 0 plus 24. So is 24 greater than 0? Yes. So we're a shade in the middle. Open at 12 and 2. Excuse me. So If we're writing inequality, like they like, that's the symbols. So less than, -2, less than 12. So -2 less than x. Whoops, less than 12. Helps to see it graphed. It really helps to see it graphed. Oh, something's wrong. What's wrong? Great, this is not the right factored. This would multiply to a -24. It has to multiply to a positive. So these aren't even the right numbers. I have to do this again. Sorry. That's what happens when I do stuff at 6:25 in the morning. It's okay. We got this. I'll try again. Okay. So let me think of my numbers for 24. Again, 1 and 24. 2 and 12. That's what I used, but that doesn't work. 3 and 8. 4 and 6. There we go. 4 and 6. Both negative. -4, -6, -4, -6, +4, +6, 4 and 6. Now I can't text 0. Well, I did check 0 already. 24 is greater than 0. It's true, and that's out here. Open, because it's greater than. If I was going to check a middle number, that's where I usually check. Instead of checking all three, I just check the middle. So if I check 5, 5 squared is 25 minus 50 plus 24. So -25 plus 24 is -1. -1 is greater than 0. False. -1 is not greater than 0, so it's not in the middle. So it is an or question. Great to or. You can look at the symbol like or and only if your variables are on the left. So that is a great or then symbol. So they should be going away from each other. So let's try this again. So x is less than 4 or x is greater than 6. Man, I got it completely wrong the first time. Nice. Okay, that's your video. Where do I stop it? There it is.